And it's their map pick too, Jim. So it is a rough affair for Complexity. Let's see how they fare, because at least they get to start on that CT side.
I'd argue they're in res hot form.
We've got a pistol to talk about, though. Stop cracking jokes.
Why not? Crack a few skulls, crack a few jokes. Crack this round wide open. That's exactly what NiP are trying to do. They've actually pushed Complexity back. However, look how far forward they are for a CT side. That can actually go pear-shaped quite quickly. They're playing in a very aggressive position. Turtled up around water, mid-connector. And of course, that mid-presence too. So, NiP could exploit this ahead. If they head back towards B, Complexity are in a position to swiftly go down.
But NiP set up to punish this as well. Contact comes through. ZTR going to be going for the swing block. A fair few bullets in the mag here. Grim has to go for the reload. Cover from Junior. Good enough to force them back. And there we go. Grim with the reload. Going to be coming in for 2 more. ZTR in trouble. JT takes his life. And in a 4-on-2, now NiP have no control of the bomb. And they got to try to get back towards Fountain.
That round was on a knife's edge. It could have gone either way. There was potentially some opening aggression there that could have gone NiP's way. However, Complexity have stabilised now. They've got control of the bomb. And if they over-aggress here, they could be punished for it. However, they've still got a clear mid, and that is just going to chew up so much time and allow them to be shot in the back. So, good round for Complexity. I was actually doubting the decision to play that far forward and allow the Glocks to get up in their face. However, Complexity, they turtled up really well, covered each other's backs, and got the job done.
Well, into the second. NiP, no plant. So we're not going to see a buy coming through. Just looking to play for round 3 and see what they can do with just a couple of blocks here. Complexity, decent util across the board. And they have the weapons to farm up these unarmored Ts. 3 MP9s in the mix. And Junior, going to get out of dodge there. Cover from JT as well to stop the rush coming through. We are going to see NiP just try and smash it straight up long into the MP9. They go. Junior looking to formulate a bath of blood here. But NiP hitting the brakes. Waiting for Junior to go a little too far forward. Dink comes through, and now the numbers are here from Complexity. Swinging together. It looks good. 2 for Junior. A few more starting to come through, but it's for Plopski, who's feeling it with the Glock in hand, and he's able to cross to safety too. M4 retrieved, and things going south quickly for Complexity.
Oh, dear me, that's disastrous. The fact that they all tried to make this work, take those duels, yeah, it looked good initially for Complexity, but the Glocks have just done so much work. It's these MP9s, though. I reckon they should just stick to those, because that was what the damage was done with.
Yeah, sigh of relief coming through from Complexity, but they manage to fend off the Glocks. And now, losing all those weapons means Complexity have to go for a heavy reinvestment into this 3rd round.
Plopski.
And NiP can get back into the game quick, smart on their first gun round.
It's nicely done from Floppy. Don't know if that MP9 on Grim is going to be effective in range, however. Seeing Complexity take a bit of aggression here towards Party. Molotov is going to just lock JT in the moment. However, he has some support in the long push as well. So, very aggressive from Complexity.
Junior really tucked away in the corner, having full faith in JT to make this position seem ever so much more valuable. When JT not spotted there with the boost. Corner about to be cleared too, but JT on this line, coming off his contact and the crossfire, the old bait and switch. They've only found one part of it.
Yep. So they've only found the cross part of the fire. However, Rez might actually find some timing here on the Grim. And so NiP, that contingency plan for them seems to be headed back towards that big site. FaNg just drops in to say g'day. And so, NiP have lost 2 opening duels here. I got to try and wing this a little bit.
ZTR. Mechanically perfect movement there, getting that 2nd, but not quite the 3rd. And it's down to Rez, who definitely is on 1 today. So I will not write him off in this 1-on-3. Bomb still not in the hands of Complexity, but I think starting to come through. Bink there onto Rez, not giving him a chance to strike. And it's 3 in a row for Complexity.
And they get that upgrade as well, so that's working out really nicely for them. Off to a good start. However, NiP, no bomb plant. That loss bonus isn't quite there yet to just prop them up for now. So they have to take a bit of a dip, bit of an eco. On to pistols though, so this could be some B action early on.
Looks like that is exactly where NiP are heading as well. Molly to short.
Flashes, it's B.
However, Complexity, they have their mollies. They have that read. Maybe slowed down the initial rush. Flashing to short, and Grim could have had a field day. Tech9 too strong though. And Rez able to trade that one out. No one close to stop this M4 from being retrieved. So a 1-for-1 trade, not good enough there from Complexity.
These flashes though, only momentary before they are deployed. So, here we go. They've got to try and make this work. They've got to dig their heels in. NiP are going to just roll it into this site. However, Floppy is only good for 2. And so he brings it back to a 1 versus 1.
Oh, Junior in the position to win it. The flank, it was there, and you saw Plopski running with his knife out. Thought he had time to make a play, but he ran into the trap, and Complexity keep the scoreboard clean for 4, but they've lost a whole lot of money over the last couple of rounds.
That's where things get tough now for this CT side, because they have been very, very costly rounds for Complexity. Just fortunate there that Junior had that read. So NiP just trying to beat out some of that early utility that that Complexity are deploying to try and just stem some of that T-side aggression. However, look, Grim is going to get super aggressive. Plopski is posted up for this, but it's no good.
They were very ready for him to be tucked away in the corner there. And an aggressive play. Nets Complexity, that early numbers advantage. NiP now starting to go straight down the guts of the map. Long control still there for Complexity. JT has the safety to move back towards long as well. And Floppy already establishing this crossfire tucked away here in the shadows. Roland going forward, able to finally find a trade. The lineup's there for Floppy, who finds 2. Wants that third. Tag stands his ground though. And still has 3 members to get past the 48 HP. Junior strikes from range. JT plays anti. And it was just a solid looking defense there on A. Early aggression. Just giving them that huge advantage for Complexity.
Complexity looking like a different beast here. Yeah, they've had a couple rounds that have gone down to that 1 versus 1, but their initial site holes have looked a lot better. Certainly more comfortable here than they were on Vertigo.
Well, that's a CT-sided start.
That is exactly what's happening too. So NiP, what's their answer? Bit of a pain train towards B. They have to wait out that Molotov though.
NiP heard that jump peak coming through. Both posted up on it. Still looking for info. Grim, I still hasn't spotted anything. Floppy close range. He's not going to go well up against the Tech9s. But JT, a headshot, able to go for the trade now. Grim as well, both tucked away here in water. And Grim falls. The Tech9 starting to wreck through the Complexity numbers. And still, that smoke over towards Monster actually favors FaNg. Gets him into a more advanced position. And Junior wants to take this contact. How's the timing? On this swing, Tag forgot that the smoke could fade, and Plopski makes a trade. It's down to Junior in a 1-on-2. He's copped a nade to the foot. And it's going to be so difficult for him to get out of heaven with ZTR in this position right below him. Plopski can swing off the contact.
Oh, now they know. He's given up his position.
He knows they're tagged up. The calls have come through. But he's putting high priority on just keeping the AWP in his hands. Trying to play the financial game, which Complexity have lost over the last 5 rounds, and NiP on a pistol round. Getting a dub. Their first round on the board can easily be converted into more.
Some great layering on the flashes too. They were still throwing a layer of flashes as the first wave of Ts were hitting that site. So it really did enable them to just group Complexity up in that pit. And unfortunately, it became a bit of a killing floor. Those Tech9s getting in nice and close up in their grill, doing a lot of damage. And so as soon as those rifles were handed over, Complexity were locked out of that B bomb site. It's a good round for them to win because they've just got that money from complexity just teetering on the edge.
Yeah.
It's not quite over the edge just yet. They're still able to buy in some pistols and some M4s. There's a FAMAS, but this is, I guess, NiP's chance now to really put some hurt on complexity and start to just whittle away at that lead they've started to forge. I doubt complexity are going to be going as aggressive as they have been in some of these rounds previously. But I guess we'll see a lot of their early CT side aggression has gone unpunished, particularly towards A. So might be going back to the basics, what's worked for them. Are NiP going to recognise that trend?
More patience in con from Rez. Could net him a few frags. Got Grim and FaNg both down here, ready and waiting. There you go, Brolin.
Once
for
bitten.
JT, so far forward. Again, up in the party.
Exact same line. Once bitten, twice shy. FaNg's going to have that molly spread on him, and oh, great from Rez.
Nice little spray transfer. Brings it down and brings it to a 2v5 now. Two of the members from NiP quite low. But we'll see if they can keep this round clean. Junior still with the AWP. Carried across from the previous. NiP have been hunting for his position. Oh, Brolin goes down off the bench. And it's just thrown off the line that Junior was trying to hold. Now you can see they are aware. The AWP's over towards the A side of things. NiP happy just to waltz on into B. And there's no defense here either.
I don't know, complexity. Straight into that save, to be honest, because their money is shot. So anything they can take out of this round would be fantastic. If Floppy can also get himself an upgrade, potentially, if that's how far they end up going, that'd be great because, yeah, that FAMAS is their only rifle in this next round. The AWP on Junior. They have the pieces to fashion with. This round wasn't fantastic either. They really did have a bit of a party mix buy going on. So NiP, again, trying to put a lot of pressure on them B. They found, I guess they've found a bit of a weakness here. They haven't had as much early success on towards A. However, they've implemented some protocols there that's actually just weeded out complexity in those aggressive positions.
Well, they know complexity were getting successful in those aggressive positions, so you can see the adaptations coming through, turning into some success for NiP. And complexity now just going to cop a half bite. Well, we'll use the weapons they saved from the previous and look to buy into the next. Not much util to play with. We'll see where Junior goes with this AWP. Looks like he's sending it all the way down to B for a B stack. And NiP not going too aggressive on this approach this time. Okay, door going to be blown off, which allows Junior to try and get on the line. They've heard that scope too because they're already advanced so far up. Con flash comes through, and there goes the AWP. There goes the chances in the round. Both rifles dealt with.
Rez is just deleting anything that is on his screen right now. He is absolutely playing a point-and-click adventure.
Now the question is, what damage can these USPs do to NiP's economy, which is growing out of control?
So they lost the only weapons they had in that round instantly.
Oh, but they're retrievable. If Rez doesn't hold the line, he does come back and spot JT, but Grim in the corner is able to at least pick up the FAMAS now.
Oh.
The Molly, not going to the right position, so they think they're out of dodge. And Grim, still full faith in getting his mitts onto that AWP, but FaNg in the corner with the Zeus is successful. Bit of BM coming onto NiP there.
Yeah, couldn't retrieve the weapon in time to do any further damage, but I don't know. Maybe he's now living in their head rent-free.
See what Grim's going to be able to do. Still hovering around the AWP, and NiP aware of it, so you can see that hunt starting to come through from JTR. Nice line held from Grim to take the head off of Rez, but now his position is known. And ZTR at the back of Con. Grim has read that like a book, but he can't connect.
Aim punched.
And the answer to the question I asked at the mid-round is 2 kills.
2
A little
kills?
bit of damage from Complexity to NiP's economy.
This is so sharp from Rez. Oh. Just instantly destroys Complexity's chances in this round.
You just don't want to be on his screen.
No, absolutely. They're failing at their strategy that you would have called for them, Mac.
Yep. Win
Find Rez,
condition.
avoid him.
Dodge. Rez. Well, faster approach from NiP now. Junior not going to be able to connect with the initial peak there from the fountain stairs. Goes all the way back to Sandwich here. NiP, though. Playing off the back of the momentum, and Brolin almost finding 2 with the smoke spam. Ooh.
It's a good start. Flashing short, double peak. Trade's good though for Complexity. Finally something starts to go their way. However, it's still only a 3v3. And still a lot of time and a lot of space here for Complexity to cover. Oh, Junior's just pulled the trigger early.
Yeah, showcasing his movement to bait out the shot. Couldn't convert it into a kill though, and FaNg, so advanced, is going to catch both the remaining NiP members off guard, jumping on the rotation. Complexity, net 6, and keep that lead strong.
Just looking at that mechanic from ZTR, you can tell his money don't jiggle jiggle.
I heard it folds, yeah.
What can we expect now out of Complexity? They've finally got themselves stabilised. Their economy is still in that building stage, though. Still going to go back to knock for this aggressive CT side. Not going to overextend themselves here, but I mean, as I say that, FaNg is just... He's on an adventure.
Oh, he's winning this game, and he's heard the footsteps rotate away from Brolin. Grim with the wall bang onto ZTR. And almost another onto Rez too. He hasn't even seen a damn enemy, and he's taken down 1.5 of them.
It's a good start here from Complexity in a round that they need to just try and consolidate as much as possible.
Flash through. And that is beautiful from Floppy to find 2. Now a 4-on-2, and Complexity fast on the flank coming through from FaNg. Now Grim not going to even give FaNg a chance to make that flank work.
Beautiful.
Just holds from the front, leads by example. 11-6 for him, and 7 secured for Complexity, off to a much better start here on Overpass.
Beautiful round for them. That's exactly what they needed. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Complexity's money situation. So NiP, they're back to the drawing board. What can they do? I mean, I'd actually, if I was maybe in their shoes, they've got to consider the fact that they've had a lot of success over towards B.
Yeah.
However, if they aren't dealing with some of the aggression coming out of short, that's where things can go a little bit pear-shaped for them. I mean, that's just disgusting for Grim. The team play from Complexity is starting to show, though, and I'm actually seeing more signs of life for them here on this second map than we did on Vertigo, which was their map pick. So
yeah, it's definitely a situation where it's better late than never. Showing some signs of brilliance. But can they keep it up? Well, NiP going to be picking up the pace again towards Fountain. Brolin playing a dangerous game, considering Complexity have been showing a lot of presence there throughout the map so far. They're worried about Con this time, going for full-out short control.
bit more of a focus, though. Back towards A here from NiP. They know that Complexity like to play aggressive, so they're just clearing out all those angles. Oh, that's a massive nade.
Answered with a molly, though, and another JT. He's found his death sentence there. Great progressive util from NiP, just a flush out connector. And Floppy just advances forward, fully clears out Monster. And Complexity have a world of info to play off now.
It really does filter NiP back towards B. They're a little bit split across the map. However, if they do check this angle and take Floppy out, oh, okay. That starts to pull the rotation back towards B. And this is where the two players still in transition for NiP could be of real value to them.
Grim gives the flash to FaNg and says, mate, flash me in as soon as this smoke fades. But NiP very ready for it. ZTR, still a full belt to util, goes back on 3 HP to set up the rest of the troops, and that's going to work wonderfully coming through from short now. Grim, so damn blind, can't see a thing. He'll find one, but it's not enough. Junior stops the cross to sight and is still in with a shot in the 1-on-3. Goes forward.
Oh, okay.
Opts not to go for the wallbang if he can find Roland here. ZTR onto 3 HP will strike. Wrapping around into the water there.
Oh, that was unfortunate too. Didn't want to unscope. Didn't want to give himself away in that sound cue. And unfortunately, he just let himself. It was like he had blinkers on going into that site.
Yeah.
So they do break back here, NiP. It's not a hard reset or anything like that. Groom is in a bit of trouble with his money, but everybody else on Complexity is still relatively healthy. So they're just going to take a brief pistol by here, just keep things back in order. And so NiP, they're going to use that to their advantage. Take that tactical timeout. They don't want to encounter any trouble. Just a bit of extra time to get a read on their opponents. What have they got? They know that Complexity are probably teetering on the edge of that money.
Well, after the tactical, we'll see Complexity just down on the Deagles. Smoke and a flash to play with. And we'll see where they try to make this play happen in just a moment.
Gonna play around that smoke at 8, around the fountain. Again, just that long push coming out as well, NiP. They're happy to just sit a little bit more defensively, only deploying players over towards short water.
Well, Molly ticks. JT cannot escape safely. And he's got numbers below him, but they're going to be thinned out too. FaNg deep and forced even further back now. Grim able to make the flank happen. Nice little flick to pick up the AK and that headshot. Bomb still retrievable, and NiP, knowing that they've lost that AK, they're going to avoid Grim to their best ability and start to make their move over towards B.
Roland, he's been involved in all the action early on. There's no further part to play here, however. Going to take down Floppy at Toxic and just going to stream into this site. FaNg could do some damage if they don't check the line, however.
Wrap behind him, coming through. Attention drawn from Grim, but neither of them win the fight there. And that's 5 now on the T side for NiP, who are, well, nipping at the heels of Complexity.
They certainly are starting to really put some hurt on. And so, here's another roll of the dice here for Complexity. Again, they don't find success here. They'll have to take another eco, but this is good work from NiP. The protocols were good. They were very defensive in the early pieces. However, they did step and take control of the map, take that territory, and clear those lines. So, Complexity now, ball's back in their court. They got the guns, they got the weapons, they got the utility. Just going to feign some aggression, though. Hopefully just try and chew up some of that time for NiP. In the meantime, though, NiP have got their own protocols being made. Taking control of water. Through connector. Can Grim perform some magic? Once again, not this time around, though. NiP don't seem to walk into the same lines twice if they're copping damage like that.
Re-smoke on Monster to buy some more time again. And that utility from Complexity really starting to thin out now. Smoke molly flash remaining. And NiP hunting for some bathrooms control there. They'll just show presence, fall back. JT still tucked away in long bathrooms. May make a move for some info shortly, but look, Complexity, they need something from a man down. And they're just going to rely purely on their raw aim to try and defend this B site. But the contact through from NiP now, flash over towards Wood. All of Monster filtered out, and FaNg just trying to help Floppy from afar. Both the defenders gone.
Stop.
Deleted Jim. And NiP, they're on for a 6th.
Yeah, that was just so clinical from NiP. They had a sneaking suspicion about Monster. They were so thorough in clearing that out. Unfortunately, Complexity, because of their deep positioning, weren't able to find those jewels, find those lines, and it doesn't matter anyway. Plopski's just dropped in, deleted the 2 of the B-site defenders, and continued to stroll on, carry on with his day, cold-blooded.
Oof. Well, you can see that the momentum has very much swung back towards NiP. Complexity struggling to find their feet in the last couple of rounds. And all that util coming through from NiP has just been so punishing. Well, it's not even just the util, it's just their aim. They're figuring out how Complexity are playing these sites, how they're playing the whole map. Reading them like a book and tearing them a new one.
Nicely done. This is Plopski. What a transfer.
My lord.
Nice and clean.
This man, he is here to play.
He's been consistent. Across the 2 days that we've seen him play here at Dallas, he has been in that IEM form. So back to pistols with Complexity.
Oh no.
They're just going to walk into Esatag's lines.
The run boosts just went one step too far for Floppy. And look, at least he didn't carry one of these weapons in. They were just trying to set Junior up for success with the AWP. And the man is not even given a shot. That smoke coming through a little too late. Just to help get Junior into a safer position. But at the same time, NiP now walking in to B for free. Only FaNg here to defend. And he's got that 5-7 in hand. He's heard everything coming through in Complexity. I think they're just on for exits. They just want some extra weapons to carry across and have a better chance of defending in the final round of the half.
Yeah, that's probably where their best chance stands. And Rez is just guarding mid-connector. So no real avenue for success there for Complexity. Junior's going to be as far away from the action as humanly possible. But NiP back towards B. Found a lot of success there. And I was liking what I was seeing from Complexity. They had a lot of early signs that were good, that were going their way. Just weren't able to maintain that momentum. In fact, they take nothing into the next, Mac.
Absolutely nada into the final round of the half. And look, utility will be a little thin. Going to see a lot of smokes, a lot of mollies, but not too many flashes to make these plays to counter everything that NiP's throwing at him either. And Junior, he hasn't even picked up a single piece of util. Prioritizing that AWP again. Let's see if they can play off spawns. No, doesn't have the spawn to peek over towards Fountain either. And Complexity, heavy presence at B. Looking to make a play.
Just waiting on that city aggression there. Esatag posted up.
Also, Jim, how many rounds has NiP hit A?
Big fat 0 for me. They've tried. Actually, no, sorry, they tried. I believe once.
Answer is not many, if any. Floppy, though. There's that aggression we were waiting for. Finds Plopski, and now NiP might be forced to go towards the A side again. And Esatag's going to find the counter AWP of Junior. Grim here, solo at Sandwich, gets torn apart, cut into pieces. And JT now, last line of defense, going to be swinging solo. No util coming through to help him, but he's happy with the 3-on-3, so he'll fall away and wait for FaNg to take contact coming in on the flank up con.
Oh, this is just all falling apart now for NiP. Petering off a little bit at the end of this half after such a strong string of rounds put together. But that being said, though, Brolin and ZTR, they could still steady that ship, give them that slight advantage going into the half. Be a disappointing way to end things for Complexity.
Oh, and the timing. Brolin, he hasn't spotted that. Flicking around, JT able to pick up the pieces at the end, and Complexity barely lead into the second half, 8-7. But it's time for a break. Look, Complexity, they're in the lead. Let's focus on the positives. NiP, though, they are absolutely tearing up a storm on that T side, and now they get to do it on the defense, on that counter-terrorist side here, on Overpass, and you know that this map is just that heavily CT-sided. So Complexity need to dig deep here, need to risk it for the brisket, Jim, as you told me before.
Oh, everything is big in Texas, as they say, and, well, Complexity are going to need to serve a big round of T-side if they're going to be able to stay here at IEM Dallas. This is their home turf, Mac.
They're going to need 8 big rounds of T-side, actually.
Absolutely.
To take us into Nuke if they want a chance, and then they still got to get through NiP on Nuke. So, GLHF. Now, slow approach, just taking FaNg control here, and going to make their way towards mid. All grouped up. Full death ball approach from Complexity. Close enough to make these trades happen, but also close enough to line up for NiP to take their heads off.
Well, on the back of that smoke is going to be Complexity streaming into this A bomb site, and patiently waiting going to be NiP with that retake. Oh, Rez has already made something happen through that gap in the smoke. So,
nade stack.
Oh, the nade stack is just carpet bombing everything Complexity are trying to do here, and they're just going to stream on through, Mac. This is mayhem.
The flood, it's too damn strong, and Complexity cannot compete here, Junior, at range. He's smoked off. He's got a Glock in hand, but 5 members to get past, and he won't bowl down any. Tied game here after the pistol.
Too many targets, too much range for a Glock. I've seen it done, but it has me questioning whether or not it was possible in that scenario. And so, just all of NiP bursting through, making things so difficult for Complexity, and then in the end, the meat shield just too strong. Too many blood-filled bags of meat.
Early molly. And a gun swap between the A-site members for NiP here. Brolin looking to utilise the MP9 in con instead, and Complexity on death's door. At least getting the plant means they can buy up into round 17. No damage done just yet. And everything real slow for Complexity. NiP at least walking into short water. And with this control, a retake on B should be on the cards, but ZTR, they're just going to fight for this. Bob not able to cross the side, is down on short now. Grim able to come through for the trade, but it's a Mac 10 and a Galil to save it. Just the Galil now. Grim able to spot ZTR from below, but it's above he has to worry about. Tag rotating in to save the day for NiP. And that's going to be 4 alive for them as well. 3 rifles surviving.
It is well played there, NiP. They make it look so easy as well on that CT side. So Complexity, they're really on the back foot now. Tech 9s and, well, one Tech 9. I was excited. I thought we're surely in for a B hit with those Tech 9s, but no real supporting utility on the back of these pistols.
With the dig has been very impressive tonight. This afternoon, I don't know, what's the time in Texas? It's something. My brain's cooked. Roasted.
Roasted.
And what do we got here? Bit of contact over towards Con. Complexity looking to group up and take this bathroom's control as well. Just trying to force NiP deep back on their sights. And they've already done so.
NiP not wanting to overextend either. Don't want a rifle to fall into the hands of Complexity. So, smarter option, safer option is to play in the sights at this stage. No need to over-aggress either.
There's that peek coming through. Tag getting impatient. He wants the fights here and now. And he's going to take them too. 2 for him, 1 for Brolin. Who's flashed towards long again. JT are on this extremity. And it's Grim,
clean.
Last alive at the flower bed. Going to play a headshot line and give himself a chance to get at least 1 kill in the round. Jumping around, Tag. Not going to lose his head this time. Swing comes through for too many members to get past with just that dig in hand. And it's 10 on the board for NiP. A solid showing here to kick off the second half.
Keep things very clean for themselves too. That's very important to keep that money riding high.
That's what Complexity didn't do in the first half.
No, they had a bit of a seesaw going on. And so, yeah, they were good for about 5 rounds, but then they started to be reeled in because their economy fell victim to just that relentless T loss bonus. So, what's Complexity go to on this first gun round for them? Looking quite aggressive. They haven't actually taken any utility damage, which...
FaNg.
Oh, he doesn't get it. Rez readjusts, despite clearly shooting elsewhere.
The late boost up as well, ZTR. Trying to come through for that trade. Was a little too late to the party. Floppy falls to Plopski. And the numbers now favoring NiP again. But how's this position coming through from Complexity? Starting to make their way straight down mid. But not clearing out long means Brolin can instantly make a flank a reality as soon as S-Attack takes this contact.
Yeah, S-Attack and ZTR. We're going to be calling that out now. Brolin's still lurking around. However, ZTR still good to hold things. Does find 2, and so it's all on JT. This is such a difficult task to be able to do because that bomb is down and S-Attack finishes the job. Complexity are looking a little flat, a little deflated. And unfortunately, they are on the verge of being sent home, which by all means is only a few blocks away.
Yeah, again, let's focus on the positives, huh? Well, NiP, punishing performance from them at the moment. Complexity back on some pistols again. Let's see if they can at least try and chip away at someone's economy. Going faster over towards Monster here, but again, all that early util thrown from NiP slows Complexity down, stops them from getting too much over the map control, and Rez able to play the headshot line, gets beat down to 19 HP, but there's no bullet to follow through.
Just so sharp.
Keeps on fighting. Plopski too. Not going to be able to connect enough for a kill. Maybe a chance with the Deagles. FaNg going to be taking heads, taking names. And Rez still alive and kicking. 19 HP to play off.
Oh, he's re-aggressed as well. This is the perfect position to find FaNg. Junior, what can he offer here? He's got the world against him, and unfortunately, his time is cut short. So, Complexity, they do some damage in that round. However, this is where they need to start to set themselves up for that comeback. They've got themselves the full ensemble in this round. They're going to take the tactical timeout too. So, this is where they're going to be bidding for their tournament lifeline.
Yeah, I'd say this is their last good chance to try and keep the map at least close. And then they might have one more chance after that to try and get back in. But it's going to take a heroic performance. And NiP need just 4 rounds to take the series.
Yeah, it's a difficult prospect for Complexity. Have had a rough run of form too, so this is only just, I guess, a continuation of just some disappointing runs of form lately for them, but they're a quality side. We know, we've seen them being able to provide at least some entertainment. Junior on that AWP. We can open things up here, catch some NiP players getting over aggressive. I'll be able to provide some space for the rest of Complexity to be able to just work this map. It is such a big map. Oh, S-Tag though is the first one to respond and can't quite find the second. They're good for the trade, Complexity. They've given themselves now some space to just let things settle. Looking at these dots across the board here, NiP are actually going to be taking some information, making those pushes through. It's a perfect response from JT.
Just what you want to see from Complexity. Answering, but still, it's a round where you can't write NiP off. Everyone individually performing, and that's just that, right? Rez is going to be able to fight for himself. Swinging 180 to find a second.
No.
Plopski stopping the push from Monster, and it's down to JT, who's already tagged to 25 to try to win in a 1-on-3. It's unwinnable.
Yeah, this is way too difficult. They were off to a good start though, Complexity. They got the they had NiP just a little bit on the back foot. They had a bit of space to work with. They just couldn't exploit it. They couldn't find the holes. And so That is unfortunately now JT falling. So this is the territory now. They're having to make things work in the 4-spy range.
Yeah.
And it's not a smooth run home for them by any account.
There's still a stack of cash for NiP to play with after rounds like that. And Complexity, even with the numbers advantage, they weren't able to trade. They weren't able to catch NiP off guard at all. Just waiting, ready, every step of the way. And NiP, heavy presence down towards B. Tag peeking early, not spotting a thing up at A. And the bomb's here. So NiP may have to play for the retake, but confidence is filling out the brim from them at the moment.
Got that deep set line here, NiP. It's turtling back up into the sights. And so, Complexity, looking for that similar contact play we were seeing out of NiP. They're just looking to emulate that themselves. Tag could be in a lot of trouble here.
Very far forward, but he's going to drop the bomb at Sandwich now. The numbers getting thin
no.
or collateral
Oh, no.
angle. But Grim at least able to trade, able to buy a second to run back, retrieve the bomb, and maybe get this one working. There's a molly in hand for ZTR. And he's going to lose his head as he throws it. Plopski in a 1-on-2. This man has been insane, but unfortunately this time he's looked the wrong way. So there you go. Complexity finally on the board in the second half. Better late than never. And still 4 rounds behind NiP, whose economy's more than strong enough to buy here. But maybe this is that shift in momentum Complexity have been looking for.
They certainly are looking for some positivity, some positive news here, and this might just be it. So what they need to do is just grind to a halt the CT side economy. They're within 1 round of doing so. However, they've just had their toes singed by some of that early utility.
A little chip of damage. It's a tag. Just dancing around Sandwich. Flashing himself onto all these lines. Aggression in Con. He's going to enable a trade to come through, but Rez is there too. Fighting in from short through that condor. And Complexity now a man down. About to slow peek into Tag. Grim will fall as well. And it's Floppy and Junior to try to salvage the round. A chance here. Tag. Missed opportunity. And in the 2-on-2, let's see if Complexity can do it again.
Yeah, Floppy's just provided them with a window of opportunity. There's a question as to whether or not they're going to be able to just break on through to the other side, though. They're going to opt to play from the bank. Rez could be a real thorn in their side. He's looked sharp enough to be able to deal with them. Unfortunately, they're up against the 2 NiP riflers who are in form.
The space in between the Complexity members looks pretty good. Floppy so low, and he's hit the 1-tap. Rez out of the equation. Floppy having deja vu, but the bomb's in a different position, and now Junior, he's heard the tap. He doesn't want a stick to come through, and there might just not be time. Complexity will cross into that 10th round. Plopski going for this AWP after the timer, and he'll get it in his mitts as well.
That was an expensive win for Complexity. It started out pretty average for them, but tell you what, Plopski, because he's channeled his inner Plopski here. He's opened up that site, and to do so on single-digit HP, that's exactly the kind of effort that Complexity need right now. That's exactly the kind of performance they're going to be turning to.
Yeah.
To keep their hopes alive. So if Floppy can continue to emulate that form in these rounds, that's going to give Complexity the best possible chance. However, you can't rely on him to 3K on single-digit HP in the late round every time. So they're going to have to set themselves up a little bit better.
But look, more importantly, Jim, NiP's economy finally getting cracked. That AWP at least carried across into this round, so that'll be tossed across to Tag. And a quick pause coming through as well. So we'll see what happens there. Jim, look, I'm sorry. I did actually promise Banks that I would do a cheeky yeehaw at the first tech pause.
Okay.
And that's just happened. So,
Is this a headphone warning?
yeah, official volume warning for everyone watching. If you don't want to have your ears hurt, you know, turn that volume down, take the headphones off.
Taking mine off. And you're ready?
I just gotta. Shout out the Banks.
All right, we're back.
Anyway, tech pause still alive though. I hope you're awake.
What's this
Awake now.
strange red liquid running out of my ear?
Sorry, everybody. Just testing the equipment, making sure it's working here. It is. It is. Did you hear it?
Can't hear much anymore, to be honest.
Well, now you're on my level. We're all deaf. We'll be deaf together. I'm just trying to bring you all into my world. Now, 3-round lead still for
How do we recover from that?
Mate, I'm warmed up. I'm fired. My vocals, they're maybe in pain after that, but at the same time, warmed up.
Okay. NiP. They're in a bit of a pickle, but they're going for the double orbs here.
Just a quick recap of everything that's gone down so far this game. A couple of crazy rounds and a couple of nail biters as well. With complexity, especially in the early sections of this map. We're getting a little scared.
Oh, yeah. we're beyond scared.
Just barely scraping through on a lot of those rounds, and then NiP, they turned that tide. Managed to get 7 in the first half, and now it's Complexity's turn to kick back on the T side. A couple of nice lineups there as well. Great aggressive plays coming through from Complexity. We haven't seen too much of that from NiP, actually. They're just playing passive, holding back, hitting their shots, running through the paces.
It's been a tale of two cities, right? Two different schools of thought in the way that they play their CT side.
Yeah.
Complexity was so aggressive. They were very, very forward in their positioning, playing a lot around Party, playing a lot around Fountain, getting aggressive down mid-connector. NiP were able to exploit that once they cottoned on. They had a little, I guess, change in their approach to the early round, their protocols. They were throwing flashes early on to flush those positions out. And then Complexity started to just, you know, reel it back a notch. Play a little bit deeper, just chew a little bit more time up. But NiP have been able to just string a few rounds together in, I guess, the mid-section of this game, the thorax, if you want to put it that way, in insect anatomy terms. They were able to then just continue on to pain Complexity. However, Complexity on the back of Floppy in this round, single-digit HP, is just able to fashion a way into the A-bomb site, give them a glimmer of hope, and they've just run with that.
Well, we're back. We're live. We're with it. We're going to see if Complexity can out-aim these pistols, and the one AWP carried in from NiP. Rez, he's got this dig boosted up, just waiting for the contact to come through on short. Tag very ready for the aggression. And the stack is here from NiP as well. Complexity could be walking into the trap, and FaNg, he's going forward with the Galil doing a bit of reconnaissance work, and both members from Complexity torn apart and giving these rifles into the hands of NiP.
Okay.
Donations.
Look at this stream of CTs just rolling around. It's a big death ball of CTs just heading up towards this A-bomb site. Complexity have control though, and there is a smoke to try and play around. Bomb is yet to get in, but that is a nice grenade to just deafen them.
Oh, there's that molly. Just a force unit out of his position. Floppy happy to fight for that bank control, and now a crossfire established between Grim and Floppy, who are in a very solid position, but they hear Rez starting to make his way out of bank, and Floppy's pretty much done the whole job himself. Now in a 1-on-2, Tag deciding, with the time remaining, no kit in play, he needs to slide his way in through bank, but the quick scope's not enough. Floppy with a 4K. Again, it's turned into a round for Complexity.
That is a round that is just edging them closer to NiP right now. So, can they continue this run of form, these run of rounds, and get themselves back in front, actually? That would be fantastic for them. Fantastic in terms of this series, too. We were, initially predicting a 2-1 based on, the form of these two teams, that the map pool that we were seeing. However, NiP with such a convincing win on the first had us believing that they were the superior team in this matchup. However, Complexity have shown that they've got some fight left in them. Brolin's taken a lot of early damage on too, so that's going to be a factor as we head into that mid to late round. He's not going to be able to play in those aggressive positions that we're used to seeing him in. Very deep set from Complexity on this T side. They have control of short, but not too much more. So
having a look at these rotations from NiP too, they've gone deep on B, looking to stack that A site because Complexity have had some success in that regard. They've even gone forward to try and take back that long control as Complexity start to make their move here at B. NiP, with what they've got in the round, B retake could be quite dangerous. They might just go for it, or even save into the next, because look, the economy's hit rock bottom.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're just going to save into this.
The full 50-50.
Yeah, this is
the gamble.
This is the pacifist round. No blood was shed. And no animals were harmed in the making of this round.
I think both sides are going to be pretty happy with this outcome. Firm handshakes all around.
Business deals closed.
Complexity note, they need money to make a comeback happen. Floppy really going to test that theory though. If he can get any of these weapons, it'll be a solid approach, but he won't. And Plopski knocks Floppy down. He's got 2,400 in the bank, so he'll easily be able to reinvest into the next. And now we're getting real deep into it, Jim. 13-12. Round 26. Potential for this to go all the way to the end of regulation. We'll see what NiP can do with this full save.
I know there's a caster around here by the name of Elfish Guy that likes to continually talk about NiP magic. Can they make magic here, though? That's the question. Right now, it looks like Complexity are the ones in control of their own destiny right now. And they are not wasting any time. Straight to B-Mac.
The change in pace finally coming through from Complexity. Plopski not going to be able to offer any defense at all. Rez is going to be able to chime in at least from one, but Roland has just ran it through from short, coming straight behind enemy lines. And just like that, the round, it's turned on its head. Junior, man's got an AWP and he's pushing through the smoke. Connects with the leg onto Rez, and it's not quite enough to even up the odds just yet.
Oh, everybody's here. It's a full family affair. The party's only just getting started too. They're not in the bomb site yet, Complexity, and they're copping utility damage, so it's a bit of a standoff here. What have we got to deal with? There's still some utility left in favor of Complexity, but that's about it. NiP, they've got nothing to work with, and they're just going to try and make those dry peaks work.
JT, all down to him in a 1-on-3. Some work done to Brolin and Rez already. Odessa tag on the deep line with full health to play with. I don't think he's been spotted there. I don't think he spotted JT crabbing across to the short side either, but he's about to walk into the crossfire. Brolin holds the line, taps the head, and puts NiP on 14.
It's about time that they got themselves around too, because it's been quite a while between drinks for them. So, Complexity, they are faced with a dilemma. They are running out of rounds here. I thought the change of pace was fantastic. It was the the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, and Brolin was the immovable object with the MP9.
It looked good until it didn't, right? Well, that full save is definitely a godsend for NiP, allowing him to make that happen. Oh, round 26. Can they do it again in round 27? They need to chunk away at a couple of the Complexity members who are now putting their focus back towards the A side of the map.
Yeah, unfortunately for Complexity, they're in that really rough, rough rider territory. They've got the Khalil, they've got the Teague, NiP. A little bit more defensively set at the moment too. Unless Essetag decides to go rogue, there's no reason for him to peek. Doesn't quite have the support just yet.
It is rotating in though, ZTR. Can he beat the odds? Can he beat the timing? He's not even going to need to. Esatag's done it all himself for 3, and there's the round. 15 secured. NiP knocking on the door of that W.
Unfortunately for Complexity too, their grip has just, unfortunately, been dismantled. They were looking good. They were looking like they were really putting the NiP under pressure. However, the grip is loosened. That is unfortunate for the hometown team. Really going to need to rally here. Going to make those Tech 9 sing. Each Tech 9 has a different tune, Mac, in the good and the bad and the ugly.
Straight through con they come. Hunt for that short control. A lot of bullets going to be plastered towards them. Plopski drops that molly, but he won't be able to get the safety. Rez salvages his life. JT Floppy coming through for the trades, and NiP, they hold strong for the moment. Brolin still here, stopping the push from short, and has the molly to delay even further. Allow these rotates to come through. ZTR takes the head off of Grim and Complexity. It's Junior and JT again. The Double J duo to try to get this one across the line for Complexity.
JR and JT, I guess, in that regard. Now, smokes are good. They're going to just shield themselves a little bit. However, they don't have the HP to play with for JT, so disadvantage. They're outnumbered. They're outgunned potentially, unless Junior can salvage this round and keep Complexity alive.
Quick peek from Brolin. It lowers, and he'll hold the line for 16. NiP take the series over Complexity 2-0.